Hey, this is Connor from Biker's Edge. Today I'm out riding and reviewing the Santa Cruz 5010. It's their 27.5-inch trail bike that's all about fun. If that sounds cool to you, stick around. And again, if you haven't, in the description down below, we've got a link for a hookup on a demo bike. Let's get into this. All right, so we're gonna mix up the format of these videos just a little bit. Hopefully we can get to the entertaining stuff just a little bit quicker. So we're gonna run through geometry and sizing and fit and all of that here, where I'm not panting and out of breath. So the Santa Cruz 5010 has 27.5-inch wheels. It has 140 millimeters to travel up front and 130 in the back. I rode an extra large. I'm 6'2". The reach is 500 millimeters, an extra large, which is, like I was saying, perfect fit for me at 6'2". The head tube angle on this bike is 65.7 degrees. It does have adjustable geometry. You can drop that head tube angle by about 0.3 of a degree. Seat tube angle, 77 degrees. The wheelbase is 1255 millimeters, so it's long, so it's stable at speed, but it's also not ultra long. So to be 1255, it keeps it pretty quick. You can get around a corner fairly easily. Santa Cruz is now offering proportionate chainstay. So a size small has a shorter chainstay than a size extra large. And that makes sense. My bike should have a longer rear center than someone who's 5 feet tall. Whew, all right. This road is kicking my butt today. So climbing on the 5010 feels a lot like climbing on most of Santa Cruz's new bikes. With that new lower link design, all of their bikes kind of have this same climbing feel where they sit into the travel just a little bit. It's not like you're way off the back or really squished into the travel, but they sit into it just a little bit. These Santa Cruz bikes do really, really well when things get techy and when things get steep. Because you're sitting into that travel just a little bit more, there's just so much traction. The rear suspension remains pretty active while you're climbing. So when you hit bumps and rocks, you're not bouncing around, losing traction. You're just glued to the ground. So the 5010 is no exception. I think it feels just a hair more efficient than some of the other bikes. Maybe just because it's got a little bit less travel in the first place. It still has that Santa Cruz ultimate traction kind of feel though. One thing about this bike, and I guess this build in particular, is that Shimano XT drivetrain. I'll just kind of echo what everyone else in the industry has been saying, that it shifts under load so well. Got a techie little bit here. It can be kind of hard, but like I was saying, that Santa Cruz traction and active rear end under climbing is just incredible. Makes that stuff pretty mellow. Been riding a lot of 29ers, so tight switchbacks on this bike actually feel really good. I've got this kind of tight U-turn here. Oh, and I made it. Thought I was about to dab, but I made it. That corner back there is really hard on a long 29er. So giving this bike a climbing grade from an efficiency standpoint, like smooth stuff, fire roads, I'll give it a B. But for techie stuff, rocks and roots, tight twisty corners, inclines, things like that, give it a good A-. So good job, Santa Cruz, making a bike that climbs well, yet I still think it's going to have a downhill focus. So downhill on this bike is all about having fun, hitting little side hits, cornering, hitting berms. It's not about going as fast as possible, although it feels pretty capable, pretty quick. And right there, that's almost where it's best. It's those little bunny hops.
it just gets pretty airborne pretty easily. Makes it really fun when your trail isn't just the gnarliest and you're trying to just have as much fun as you can on mellower, smoother trails. The geometry, the travel amounts, all of that is just very well suited for a bike that's fun. Again, the suspension on this bike just has that Santa Cruz kind of plush feel that just gives you a ton of traction. You know, it is short travel, so it doesn't completely erase everything, but for having 130 millimeters of travel, it does make bumps disappear very well. I do think this ramps up a little quicker, and there's a bit more mid-stroke support than some of their other bikes. I think that's just, again, part of the design to make it fun and poppy. You don't want it wallowy. So while this bike isn't all about top speed or going super fast, it does feel plenty stable at high speeds. The wheelbase is long enough, the geometry is relaxed enough, and I think a little bit of what helps is that tall front end. Keeps that front wheel from getting hung up on rocks and stuff, and bumps and holes. So I think that helps a little bit. And then I think it just has good geometry for riding hard. Whew! I did that the other day too. Front wheel washed out in that corner. It's getting really dusty. Talking about that, this bike gets around a corner very, very well with the wheelbase, the length that it is, with its geometry, the wheel size, with one little exception. You do have to make a very conscious effort to keep that front wheel weighted, because it tends to wash out a little bit if you're kind of off the back cornering on this bike, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but you know, sometimes when you're timid or something, it's easy to get off the back and try to steer that way, and this bike does not like that. So you can kind of picture this bike as the 27.5 version of the tall boy. You know, similar travel category, similar geometry, except I do think this one just rides that much harder. Even though it's only got 10 millimeters more travel, something about it, I think, just lets you ride it a little bit harder. You kind of forget you're on a 130 mil travel bike. I think that tall boy suspension just feels more firm, where this kind of absorbs things a bit better. Yeah, if you stay right up over the bars on this thing, corner's pretty quick. Bike jumps super well. The support in the suspension is awesome. You know, right off the top, it's nice and plush, and then you get into it just a little bit as you go to bunny hop or pull up off of something, and it gets a little firmer so that you've got some platform to pull off of. You can get quite a bit of height off of really little rollers and features and lips. So the 5010's handling is quick without being twitchy. It's a good balance. You know, it's not long travel, extra long wheelbase stable, but it's not even close to being twitchy at all. So I'm trying to think about who this bike's for. And honestly, it all just comes down to fun instead of top speeds and burliest lines. It'll go fast, it'll do burly lines, but not to the extent of some other bikes. I think a lot of people could probably benefit from the smaller wheel. It's funny to say, but I really do. Maybe 27.5 will make a comeback here as people realize that honestly most of us don't race. And if we race, it's not like we're racing all that competitively. And you know, there are benefits to that smaller wheel and just having fun on the trail. All right, well that's going to do it for the Santa Cruz 5010 review. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.